So, Douglas, I mean, do you agree? Do you think that religion is central to the project of defending Western civilization?
Of course, it's central. I mean, you can't take it away and still have what we would call the West.
And is that Christianity, in your view?
The
Or is that a Judeo-Christian biblical worldview?
Yes, it's a Judeo-Christian tradition, of course. I mean, if Europe had taken Islam as its religion, or had Islam given to it as its religion, the West would be different, as with any other religion. I think we've had an enormously painful experiment in our time of trying to sort of see whether, I think it's Bokenforder's dilemma, isn't it? Can a thing sustain itself after it's cut itself off from that which gave it birth? And the answer almost certainly is no, because you end up in the situation most of us have probably experienced in our lives, which is, among other things, you even lose common reference points. I mean, even I, as a secularist, I will have a conversation with Yoram, and we will understand most of each other's references because we've drunk from the same wells. If you haven't drunk from the same wells in your society, then you lose everything. I mean, you even lose the ability to have metaphor, you know. I mean, can you imagine how strange it is to somebody to say camel through the eye of a needle if they're not schooled in the Bible? They look at you like you're a lunatic. What's this man talking about? And that's the case across I think the society. So I am in favor, as Yoram knows, actually, of people at least having a religious education that doesn't just offer the buffet option, but says, you know, these are the ideas, this is the well which has been our well. One of the things that deeply disturbs me in the current era is that it's not just the religious tradition of the West, but the secular tradition as well, which is now under equal assault. I go into this, but I mean, there's now not a figure of the Enlightenments who has not been attacked for the same reasons that I outlined earlier, all guilty of living in a time of racism, colonialism, slavery. And this is very strange to see, you know, Voltaire, Locke, everybody, David Hume's name being taken off buildings in his native Scotland. This is very strange because these are the people who actually gave us much of the thing that we're living in, and yet we seem to be tearing this out of our system as well. And that's, I think, the combination of these two things simultaneously is particularly deadly. I should say, but until I arrived in America, I didn't really believe that the integralists were serious, by the way. I just couldn't believe it, that anyone was seriously going to try that, let alone to have any likelihood of tactical success. That a minority religious viewpoint could be imposed in such a way seems to me extraordinary. And, you know, coming from the continent I do, I didn't see the 16th century, but I heard about it. And actually, by the way, for those people who care about the retreat of religion from public life, it's worth remembering something that the late Rabbi Jonathan Sacks said when Ratzinger, or Pope Benedict as he then was, visited England, and Rabbi Sacks said, you know, that Europe lost faith in religion, not least because it saw that people of faith could not get on with each other. That is a very profound insight that we should dwell on. Anyhow, I hate the idea of seeing this record replayed, but no, it's a very troubling thing when, as I say, when every leg of the stool is taken away or shaved down simultaneously, and that's what I think is happening, and that's why one can actually identify bad intent.